Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Follow a Sketch Friday. So today I'm using this page map sketch. Now this is a January 2022 page map sketch. It does call for 2 photos, so I do have 2 photos. I went ahead and pulled out some products. I have a couple pieces of Echo Park paper. I have this paper from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, a Project Life, I think, overlay, a felt doily, a couple of these really old Making Memories rings, and then I pulled out a couple bits of stickers. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I have thrown the sketch up in the upper left-hand corner. I remembered to do it this time, which is always a win. Now, I am not one to usually scrap very themey, but I have this awesome car paper, so I decided to scrap a road trip with the car paper. Now, these do kind of looks like Volkswagen Bugs. We are not in a Volkswagen Bug, but it's still a car, so it works. Now, I did trim down the card paper to 10 3/4 by 10 3/4, and then I trimmed a black sheet of cardstock down to 11 by 11. What that's going to do is give me a good kind of differentiation between the car paper and the white border background. So that is not in the sketch, but I just felt like it needed a little bit more. I didn't want to have just these big expansive cars. So now I'm going to use the map paper and I'm going to mat that on some black cardstock as well. Now I don't choose to mat everything on the black, just the photos and the matte print, because I want it there to be, again, some differentiation between the patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that down right there. Now the black cardstock that I used in the background is actually an embossed chevron, and you really can't tell unless you are really up on that paper looking at it, but the black cardstock that I'm using to mat everything is just plain black cardstock. So I chose to put my photos right next to each other instead of having 2 individual photos here. I also did trim down my photos just a little bit off of the top because there's an awful lot of the roof of the car showing, and you know, nobody needs to see that. It's more important to see the faces. So this is a felt doily. I decided to trim it in half and just use the half right here. Now, I had originally thought about using the other half of the doily on another area of the layout, but ultimately decided against it. So now I have to figure out what in the world I am going to do with my decorations. Now, I could not find the transparency piece and it was stuck to the bottom of the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. That arrow right there is going to be representative of the arrow on the sketch. Now, I will say I am in the can't even speak right now. I am in the middle of going through my scrapbook room. I am literally touching everything I own and going through it and deciding if it is a keep or get rid of. So I did see these big white kind of grommety things recently, which is the reason why I pulled them out. So it really is true. You have to look at your stuff, touch your stuff, know what you have so that you can use it. Most of the time I have a pretty good idea of, oh yeah, I've got some metal stuff over there somewhere. But sometimes all the embellishments kind of jumble together. So I am going through these things. I'm also going to be selling boxes of scrapbooking supplies on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you head over there if you're interested. I'm going to have boxes of types of things. So I have a huge box of pattern paper. I have a huge box of stickers. I have a huge box of Christmas stuff. I have a huge box of embellishments. They're just going to go. They'll be up within the next couple of days, and whoever claims them first gets them. So that is the plan. I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch of these stickers here, and I'm going to make sure that I have the hearts and also use up some of these words. Now, I thought that roll with it would be kind of hilarious since we're in a car and we're rolling down the highway, so I decided to go with that. And then I went and grabbed my pocket cards because I needed some little pieces over here, because the sketch has a bunch of little pieces over there and I need some. I do move over a lot of my embellishment so that it is not on the exact right hand side of my photos, but I felt like I needed, you know, a little bit more over here. So I know that roll with it is going to go over there somewhere. I'm just not exactly sure where yet. I'm going to flip through these little cards, and I originally grabbed it just for the yellow color because there's yellow in the cars. And then I decided, oh, I like the remember when. So I'm going to tuck that underneath of the photos. It's going to give me another little layer over here on the right-hand side of the page. And then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Because I'm like, do I find more paper options? Do I try other things out? I do flip through the 3x4 cards and the 4x6 cards. Ultimately, I don't choose anything. I thought about bringing in some grid paper to write some journaling on it, but I decided against that. So I'm just going to commit to that roll with it sticker right there. And then I'm going to get these grommets punched into my page. So this is a really old push pad. I think it's from Scrapworks. Do you guys remember Scrapworks? I'm going to push these down. Now, I think Making Memories had a tool to push these guys down. Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember if these grommets had a tool with them? I really think they do, but I was, you know, back then I had less disposable income, so I would buy the things, but I wouldn't buy the tool. The same thing with the fascinator. I just got a fascinator recently when my friend Crystal gave it to me because I have so many fascinator staples, which I touched again recently. So now they are on top of mine, so I will be able to use them up. So I go ahead and I'm using this I think it's We Are Memory Keepers tool. Yes, We Are Memory Keepers tool. It's like this brad tool. It's got this end on one side. I don't know how to describe it other than a brad tine pusher over, and then it's got a pokey end on the other. And it is by far one of the best tools ever. So I am going to use that to actually poke the holes through the paper, just because I'm pushing through a bunch of papers here, guys. Like there's layers of paper that I'm pushing through, and I'm not getting those grommet tines through. So now I just poke the little holes and then press the tines through and then bend them down. Now, of course, there is going to be some washi on the back of this layout because I don't want any papers catching. It will be interesting. One day, I am going to go through all of my albums, but I have a ridiculous amount of scrapbook albums. I probably should go count them. I know that there's over 100. But I should probably go count them. The back of the layouts with washi tape covering up that kind of thing didn't used to bother me back in the day, like years ago. It's only been a recent development. So I know that there's layouts that don't have washi on the back of them. And when I think about it, it makes my heart flutter. But I'm not going to think about it because, you know, I have so many other scrappy projects that I want to do and that I need to get done. And that is not the priority. So you're just not going to think about it. And I'm just going to keep on putting washi on all the new layouts that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy through as well. Now on the top circles, I did the chevron pattern in the big circle and the polka dot pattern in the little circle. So at the bottom, I reversed that. Now I do have these epoxy black and white hearts. I am going to place them down with some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to make sure that they stay put. It sucks when stickers don't stay put. So I go ahead and get that down. And then off camera, I am going to add in some more heart stickers. They're from the Chamel Go Now Go collection. There's some with some matte print, and there's some yellow ones that I go ahead and get on the layout. Now, I do use the washi tape that I wouldn't normally use in my scrapbook pages on the back of my layouts. So that bright washi tape isn't really something I would use, so it goes, it's like the working washi. I'm going to go ahead and journal a little bit with a Muji pen, and I'm just talking about how we enjoyed the road trip traveling from home to San Diego, where we went to pin Alex when he was promoted to sergeant. So you will see the little hearts in the final photos that I added. I also added a Hey sticker over top of Roll With It that you'll be able to see as well. So there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again real soon for another video.